Okay, so I gotta ask, how many of you out there are thinking, is my pie mining even worth it anymore? Like, is tapping that little button every day really doing anything? Especially now that the base rate is, well, it's not what it used to be.
Yeah, I get it. When those numbers start to shift, it's natural to wonder if you're still on the right track.
Right, but here's the thing. What if there's a whole other layer to Pi Network that we're missing? What if there are these kind of like hidden strategies, maybe even secrets, that can help you get way more out of your mining? I mean, beyond just that daily click.
And that's exactly what we're going to unlock today, right here in this deep dive. We're going to look beyond the surface, beyond the basics, and really get into the nitty-gritty of how you can maximize your Pi earnings.
Exactly. No more just scratching the surface. We're going deep.
We'll start by demystifying the base mining rate, why it changes, what it really means for the long-term value of Pi. Then we'll get into this whole idea of security circles, which honestly I think is one of the most powerful but often misunderstood aspects of Pi Network.
Oh, absolutely. Security circles are like the secret sauce?
And we'll wrap it up with some strategies for really making the most of referrals, but, and this is super important, doing it ethically and responsibly.
Yes, definitely not about spamming everyone you know with a link.
So by the end of this deep dive, you're going to have a whole new set of tools to not just mine Pi, but really, like, supercharge your efforts.
Okay, let's jump right in then. First up, the base mining rate. I mean, let's be honest, seeing those numbers go down can be a little disheartening, right?
For sure. And I think there's a lot of confusion around it. People see it dropping and they think, okay, so Pi Network's just getting stingier. But that's not really the whole picture, is it?
So what's the real story?
Well, think about it this way. Imagine if the initial mining rate just stayed the same forever. Like, even as millions and millions of people join the network.
Yeah, that wouldn't really work, would it? It would be like,
It would be like printing money with no end in sight. It devalues the whole thing.
right. Okay, so this decreasing rate, it's not just like some random decision. It's actually,
It's a deliberate mechanism to control the supply of Pi, to ensure its scarcity, which, in the world of cryptocurrency, is directly tied to its potential value.
makes sense. Scarcity equals value. So it's like, as the Pi network grows, the base rate adjusts to keep things balanced.
Exactly. It's an algorithm. It's designed to find that sweet spot between rewarding early adopters, like yourself, and making sure that Pi remains valuable in the long run.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. But I know there are a lot of rumors and misconceptions out there about the mining rate. Like, what are some of the things we need to clear up?
Well, one of the biggest ones is this idea that the rate is somehow unfair, or that the Pi Core team is just manipulating it however they want.
Yeah, I've definitely heard that one floating around.
But the reality is, it's all based on a transparent formula that's tied to network growth. The more people join and actively mine, the rate adjusts accordingly. No one's pulling strings behind the scenes.
Okay, good to know. And what about those hacks you see advertised online? The ones that promise to boost your mining rate like crazy?
Yeah, those are a huge red flag. Let me be crystal clear. There's no magic trick, no secret code to hack the Pi network. It's a secure system.
So if anyone's trying to sell you some kind of cheat, they're probably...
They're probably trying to scam you, plain and simple. And not only is it a scam, it could get your account banned. Pi Network takes security and fairness seriously.
Right, no shortcuts. What about having multiple accounts? Does that give you an advantage?
Nope, not at all. In fact, it's against the Pi Network's terms of service. The whole idea is one real person, one account. And it all ties back to that trust network we're going to talk about in a bit.
Gotcha. So no sneaky tricks, no workarounds, just participate genuinely and consistently. But even though the base rate is going down, is it still worth it to mine every day? Like, are those little bits of Pi really adding up?
Absolutely. This is about playing the long game. Think of it like compound interest. Every fraction of Pi you mine today is an investment in your future holdings.
Okay, so it's a slow and steady wins the race kind of thing.
Exactly. And remember, the Pi network rewards active participation. By consistently mining, you're showing your commitment to the project, contributing to its overall health, and setting yourself up for potential rewards down the line.
Makes sense. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Any tips for staying consistent with mining? I know some days it's easy to forget.
Yeah, for sure. Make it a habit. Set a reminder on your phone, maybe integrate it into your morning routine, like check your Pi app while you're having your coffee or on your commute.
That's a good idea. Make it part of your daily flow. Okay, so we've covered the base mining rate, but now let's get into something I'm really curious about. Security circles. What are they, and why are they so important in the Pi network?
All right, so security circles are all about building trust within the network. They're groups of people, usually around 5, that you personally vouch for as being real, legitimate Pi users.
Okay, so it's like a digital, I know this person, they're not a bot kind of thing.
Precisely. And those connections, those vouches, they create what's called a trust graph. It's this web of interconnected users that helps Pi Network determine who's trustworthy and who might be trying to game the system.
And why is that trust graph so crucial?
Well, think about it. Pi Network aims to become a widely used everyday currency, right?
Yeah.
So it needs to be secure. It needs to be resistant to fraud and manipulation. That trust graph is like a built-in security system, making sure that Pi is being mined and used by real people, not bots or fake accounts.
Okay, that makes sense. But how does a security circle actually benefit me? Like, does it actually affect my mining rate?
It does, in a big way. For every trusted member you add to your security circle, your mining rate gets a boost. It's like a little bonus for contributing to that web of trust.
Wow. Okay, so it's not just about the overall security of the network. It's actually helping me earn more pie. That's pretty cool. So how do I build a really effective security circle? Like, who should I be adding?
The key here is quality over quantity. Don't just add random people you meet online.
Right, that makes sense.
Instead, focus on people you know and trust in real life. Friends, family members, colleagues, people you can actually verify their identity.
So it's like a small, tight-knit group within the larger network.
Exactly. And ideally, you want a full circle of 5 members. That gives you the maximum trust bonus. And don't just add them and forget about them. Engage with your circle, make sure they're actively mining, because their activity affects your rate too.
Oh, really? So it's not just about me being active, it's about my whole circle being active.
That's right. A strong security circle is one where everyone is participating and contributing to that trust graph. It's a win-win.
Got it. Now, what about inactive members? Or what if, someone in my circle turns out to be like a fake account or something?
That's a good question. Inactive members don't really contribute to the trust graph, so it's a good idea to periodically review your circle and maybe remove people who aren't actively mining. And if you suspect someone is using a fake account, definitely remove them.
Okay, so keep it clean, keep it active, and definitely no adding fake accounts myself, right?
Right. That's a big no-no. Remember, Pi Network is built on trust and authenticity.
Got it. So security circles are all about building that foundation of trust, and they can actually boost your mining rate. Pretty cool. Now let's move on to another way to potentially earn more Pi referrals, but I know this is an area where it's really important to be ethical. What's the best approach?
Absolutely. Referrals can be a great way to grow the Pi Network, but it's not about spamming everyone you know with a link. It's about sharing the opportunity with people who you genuinely think would be interested and would contribute positively to the community.
Okay, so it's not just a numbers game. It's about quality over quantity.
Exactly. Don't just blast out your link on social media. Instead, have conversations with people. Explain what Pi Network is all about, its potential, its long-term vision.
So it's about educating people, making sure they understand what they're getting into.
Exactly. Be transparent. Let them know it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It takes time, it takes patience, it takes consistent participation.
Okay, I like that approach. So how do I actually help the people I refer get started and, stay active?
Well, don't just send them a link and disappear. Be a resource for them. Walk them through the setup process, explain how mining works, help them build their own security circles.
So be like a Pi mentor, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And there are lots of great resources out there you can share with them, like tutorials, articles, even this deep dive we're doing right now.
Good point. And how does the whole referral bonus thing actually work? Like, how do I actually maximize what I earn from my referrals?
The key word here is active. You only get a bonus from the people you refer who are actively mining on a regular basis.
Ah, okay. So it's not enough to just get people signed up. They actually have to be participating.
Exactly. That's why it's so important to keep your referrals engaged, to answer their questions, to encourage them to keep mining, maybe create a group chat or something where you can all connect and support each other.
So build a little Pi community within your network.
Exactly. And when your referrals are actively mining, your bonus keeps growing, which can really add up over time.
Awesome. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today. We've talked about the base mining rate, security circles, referrals. It seems like the message here is that there's so much more to Pi Network than just tapping that button every day.
Absolutely. It's about understanding the mechanics, building a strong network of trust, and really engaging with the project on a deeper level.
So for everyone listening out there, if you're wondering how to unlock the true potential of your Pi mining, the answer is to think beyond that daily tap.
Look at your security circle. Think strategically about who you invite to the network. And remember, consistency is key. Even though the base rate is adjusting, your daily actions are still building towards something bigger.
I like that. And speaking of building towards something bigger, I want to encourage all of you to subscribe to the deep dive so you don't miss out on any future episodes where we explore these topics even further.
And hey, don't keep this knowledge to yourself. Share this episode with your security circle, with your referrals. Let's spread the word and help everyone maximize their Pi experience.
Definitely. And while you're at it, head over to the comments section and tell us about your own Pi mining strategies. What's working for you? What tips do you have for others? Let's learn from each other.
Oh, and we also wanted to give a shout out to a really cool initiative called the Pinetwork Africa community, started by X, who you might know as XDN. It's a great example of how people are coming together and building something special within the Pi network. If you're interested, definitely check it out.
Sometimes it's easy to get discouraged when you don't see big news or updates right away. But by sharing this deep dive with your network, you're actually doing something really powerful. You're educating them, you're encouraging them to stay active, and you're helping to build that sense of momentum. So spread the knowledge.
And remember, Pi Network is a marathon, not a sprint. It's a long-term project with enormous potential.
So be patient, stay engaged, and keep mining that pie. Thanks for joining us today on the deep dive. Until next time, stay safe and keep tapping.